Hey, what's up YouTube? This is TN bringing you a guide here for the Necromancer. This is a T13 speed build for rifts and bounties. That's it, so don't try and use this for greater rifting. Just gonna go over the skills very quickly. You guys will also be able to see it in the build guide that will be in the description of the video. But we use Grim Scythe, Frost Scythe, Corpse Lance Brittle Touch, Blood Rush Metabolism, Command Golem Flesh Golem, Bone Armor Dislocation, Land of the Dead, Frozen Lance, and then Overwhelming Essence, Swift Harvesting, Final Service, and Commander of the Risen Dead as our passives. You might notice about these abilities is that we have no curses, and that's kind of abnormal for Necromancer builds. Most builds use curses, mainly because of this belt here. When they're affected by Decrepify, we get more damage reduction, but I'll go into why we're not using that here in a second when we go over our gear. So the first thing I'll start with the weapon is we're using the Shadow Hook, and this gives us extra damage for every extra essence we have, and so there's another secondary on it that gives us maximum essence. That's not guaranteed, so make sure when you get this item that it has that extra essence on it. And you know, ours happens to be ancient. We got this rolling two-handed scythes using the Hope of Cain recipe. There's only 4 different unique two-handed scythes that you can get, so when you upgrade one, you know, you have a 25% chance at getting one, and then I think you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting an ancient one. So you know, on average, it should take you, I don't know, 40 of them before you get an ancient one of these. You know, your mileage may vary. You may get one right away. It may take you a long time. Anyways, let's get into the gear. We are using the Inarius set, and this set is great because it's not only free next season, but it's also very powerful. The 6-piece set bonus is what we're really after here. Bone Armor activates a swirling tornado of bone, and you'll see it when we get into the gameplay here. But we want to hit people with that Bone Armor and then hit them with our skill of choice, which was Bone Lance, or Corpse Lance, I'm sorry, that we're using. We're also using the Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge combo, which gives us everything we want: damage reduction when we're moving, and even more damage when we're standing still. We're using a Crispin Sentence to give us more damage when things are slowed, stunned, or frozen. We have a couple things that, well, our Bane of the Trapped slows, our Bone Armor stuns. We're choosing the Stun rune, and then our Land of the Dead freezes, so we can get up to, you know, 300% extra damage. The bonus gets tripled. We're using Nemesis Bracers and Gold Wrap, and the Gold Wrap combos with our Boon of the Hoarder legendary gem, and you know, that's just for toughness. The Nemesis Bracers and the Ingiome are mostly for smoothness of gameplay. You know, I find most speed builds, if you want to go fast through T13, you kind of need that combo of Ingiome to spam those movement ability skills, and Nemesis Bracers to make it easier to pick up more elite kills, and you know, when you hit shrine to get that extra value. Speaking of getting extra value when we hit shrines, we are using shrine gloves here. This is completely optional. It's probably the most flexible thing in the build. I have some other alternatives here if you want to use, you know, the golem pants, because we do use a golem in this build, or the Corpse Lance shoulders. If you want to use Aquila Curious or Ancient Parthenon Defenders for more toughness. I think there's also something you could use in here that gives you an extra Moribund Gauntlets. Your golem sheds a corpse every second, might help you with corpse generation, so that's also an option there. Our amulet that's in the cube is the Johnstone, and every time we hit Land of the Dead, we end up getting, every time we spend a corpse, we get more corpse damage and Corpse Lance and Corpse Explosion damage, which we're going to be using in the build. Without any further ado, I think I'm just going to hop right into some gameplay here and show you guys what it's all about. So you'll notice that we've already completed a little bit of this rift because I just wanted to show you guys a Rift Guardian kill. But first things first is I try and stack up my Bone Armor. And so I have to get really close to them to apply my 6-piece Inarius buff, and then I'm launching corpses at them with my Corpse Lance. And anytime I need extra corpses, I have a couple ways of doing that. I can use my Golem, or I can use my Land of the Dead, which will give me kind of this, you know, infinite corpses here, and stack up my Johnstone. And then once we kill the elite pack, you know, we're just gonna hop around and look for another elite pack. So we found one here, Corpse Golem, put some corpses on the ground. Make sure that we're hitting with our bone armor before we start spamming corpse lance. So everything about this build revolves around us using corpses, and so we want to make sure we're using those corpses efficiently and using corpse lance on stuff that's affected by our bone armor. This is not like the Archon build or whatever where you're spamming at max distance. You actually need to be pretty close for this build to work. You can see there, like here, I'll show you guys what corpse lance looks like when we're far away and it hasn't been hit by corpse armor yet, or our bone armor. See how we're doing no damage to that guy? But if we get close, then all of a sudden he starts to melt. Another tricky gameplay thing is, okay, I'm out of corpses, what do I do? That's what the scythe is there for, and that's why we're choosing the one that attacks a little bit faster, just to make it to where, okay, we can hit with a decent amount of damage. And there you saw a Rift Guardian. I know it was really quick, but we used Land of the Dead there, got infinite corpses, and just melted them down with our damage there. This is a T13 Rift, and you know, we were able to do it pretty easily there. You can see how the build plays with the Ingiome and hopping around. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck in Season 11. See you guys next time.